Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at this example from Math073 chapter 5, and in this question they would like you to divide x squared plus 14x plus 48, this rational expression, by another rational expression which is x squared minus 2x minus 48 over x minus 8. So the first step is to change this division question into multiplication question. And how do you do that? You do that by multiplying x squared plus 14x plus 48, the first rational expression, multiply it with the reciprocal of the expression that you are dividing by. So that will become x minus 8 over x squared minus 2x minus 48. Once we are done with this, the next step is to multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So write the product of the numerators, x squared plus 14x plus 48 times x minus 8 over the product of denominators, 6x minus 48 times x squared minus 2x minus 48. And see, we are not really foiling these expressions because the next step is to make factors, and this is already factorized, so we don't want to increase our work by multiplying and then trying to factorize it again. So in this case, because we already have two factors, we're not gonna multiply those in. So the next step would be to write the factors of the first polynomial or quadratic equation, whatever you want to call it. So that means because it's a quadratic equation, it will have two factors, not equation, expression I mean. If you don't remember how to factorize it, let's quickly go through the process. The leading coefficient is 1, 48 is your C. So if we use the AC method, 1 times 48 is 48, and you are required to make factors of 48 and see which two factors multiplied give you the middle term being positive 14. So I'm just gonna quickly list out all the factors. Sorry, this should be 4 times 12, and the last one is 6 times 8. And clearly 6 times 8 is what we need because 6 plus 8 is 14, which is the middle term of this expression. So now if I factorize the first one, we get x plus 6, x plus 8. We already had x minus 8. I'm just gonna write it again. Now from the denominator, 6x minus 48, if you factor out 6, because 6 is a factor of 48, you're left with x minus 8. And then you're going to similarly make factors of this quadratic, you're going to make the expression of this polynomial, x squared minus 2x minus 48. And this question has become really simple for us because the leading coefficient is 1 again. 1 times negative 48 is negative 48. So that means now we are making factors of negative 48 so that the sum of those two is a negative 2. If this answer has to be negative, that means the larger factor must be negative when we add them so that the sum is negative. So for example, 1 minus 48, when I add these two factors, it will be a negative answer, negative 47. So we're gonna make all the larger factors negative and pick the one where when we add the numbers we get negative 2, and clearly it's 6 plus negative 8 gives me negative 2. So the factors here will become x plus 6 and x minus 8. We are almost done. Now all we have to do is get rid of factors of 1. So just cancel out x minus 8 and x minus 8, same factor. And similarly, x plus 6 and x plus 6 are common in both numerator and denominator. It cancels out and gives you 1. What are we left with? In the numerator, we have x plus 8. In the denominator, we have this factor 6 times x minus 8. And that's your answer. So when you divide rational expressions, the first step is to change into a multiplication question by multiplying it with the reciprocal of the rational expression you're dividing by. Next step would be writing the product of the numerators and denominators, and then if you can factor them, the numerators and denominators, just factor them, cancel out any common factors, simplify, and you're done.